Hey everybody, it's your girl Bondy Blue, and I am back for another Love and Marriage Huntsville review. Let's go ahead and get into it without any further ado. So, y'all, Maurice got our girl Kimmy crying at the beginning of this episode. Sitting outside, hearing the rain pitter-patter on the porch. It's beautiful. And he disrupted this lovely morning so that he can tell her that he's already offered to pay for his ex-wife and her husband to move to Huntsville from Pennsylvania or wherever they originally from, somewhere up north. I don't know if it's Pennsylvania, but I know it's somewhere up north. Either way, Minnesota, I don't know. Either way, okay, something long, I can't remember. There's no consequence at this point. The point is, Kimmy feels like she has been completely disregarded as his partner because she was not included in on the conversation about whether his ex-wife was going to move to Huntsville and disrupt all a peace. I feel so bad for Kimmy because this was so inconsiderate. And she's crying, and he had went inside, but when she starts to come inside to clean herself up, then he consoles her, and he's hugging her and asking what he can do to make it better. And it's like, I don't know. Why don't you turn back the hands of time like R. Kelly or something? Like, I don't know. I don't know what you could possibly do to fix this, Maurice. But you know, it's a lot of y'all making decisions and doing things without talking to your wives or not even considering their emotions. So even though everybody may not be cheating, everybody is in one way or another treating their wives as a second-class citizen within the confines of their marriage. I don't appreciate it. Okay, Maurice, you may come off like the good one. You may come off like the nice one. But the way you handled this situation was not cool. And you using your love for your son as a crutch to withhold information from your wife, it's a cop-out. It's a cop-out, and it's a way to fall on your sword and make yourself seem like you're a martyr out here, you know, for your son. I just didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. And I think that, you know, that speaks to future behavior. Will you continue to do things like this? Because that was such a big move to make. We didn't even know that he had just finished paying off a house, and now he wants to offer them that house. And you will move them into a house. Lord have mercy, help me. I just cannot. I guess at some point he realized he messed up, but it's too little too late. Too little too late to ever try again. Too much too little too late, we end up as friends. Something like that. Y'all remember when Gina and Pam sang that song when Martin had that terrible engagement? Y'all remember that? Damn, Gina, will you marry me now, Gina? Damn, Gina. Like, it was so disrespectful. I just spit in his face. No, I'm just playing. I wouldn't have done that. Anyway, moving on. So Martell talks to Dr. Francis, talks about how he's in the bunk bed. Mind you, queen or full-size bunk bed. Wasn't no little bitty twin-size bunk bed that he was in. I was like, stop complaining like that bunk bed wasn't nice. Dr. Francis says, well, you know, I would have to talk to your wife to understand why she doesn't want you in the bed. What brought her to this place? You know, and if we can get it to a better place to where she's okay with you staying in the bed with her. And I'm like, look at here, Dr. Francis. You know why he can't stay in a room with her? Because his mistress called. Remember? His mistress called. He ain't been in the bed ever since then. So them sitting up there talking about this like this is new information was like, oh, word, we gonna act like Mel just out here tripping, huh? Okay, that's what we doing. So another couple shows up. I forgot their names, but they seem non-problematic, calm people, okay? Mel was happy to see them. Kimmy and Maurice have, you know, their little matching t-shirts on. He got a t-shirt line. Mel has lingerie on, and I think that it was cute lingerie, you know, little lingerie with some sweatpants on. I say, all right, girl, show him what he missing. The new couple is giving their goodie bag, and we're and joking and having a good time about it. Meanwhile, Mel is over there rubbing her stomach and looking very uncomfortable. She turns to Martell and says she's gonna go upstairs and lay down because she's not feeling well, so she goes upstairs. Martell comes upstairs not far behind her, and she says, I think I'm pregnant. And he was like, really? He thinks it's a good thing. It'll bring them closer together as a family. And we all know that ain't no baby ever made no relationship better. Ain't no baby ever made no relationship better. Let me tell you something. Mel be talking all the sense in the world in them confessionals, but then we don't know because of the way she be moving. You talking, but it's the way you moving, and we need for you to walk it like you talking, all right? But at the same time, I keep saying this, I can't be mad at somebody for staying with their husband, okay? Let's be very clear. Martell is supportive when it comes to her work. He is supportive when it comes to the kids. He is an active father. He is sweet, apparently laying down some type of ditch. And I mean sweet in the moments. And I hadn't even noticed it before. But the way they were like kind of flirting with each other and all of that, if that is the way he is normally, then I can understand why she was completely caught off guard. Because it's not like, she said it before, it's not like we weren't sleeping together. It's not like he's not being, considerate of me. All of these different things that he does that are positives. So I can totally understand why she's not leaving her man. So you mean to tell me you think I'm about to leave my man so you can have him? I think not. So in that space, I totally understand why Mel is now pregnant for a man that she can't fully trust. Because it's her husband. It's her husband. Hers. Kimmy goes to check on Mel and they discuss, her not feeling well. And of course, she kind of, girl, I don't know what's wrong with me. Lying about, being pregnant. She knows she's pregnant, but she wasn't ready to tell anybody. That's fine. But then Kimmy confides in her about what's going on with Maurice and him inviting, his ex-wife to come out here. And she's like, without talking to you first? Oh, no. No, that's not okay. That's not okay. Without a conversation first? Oh, no. I love doing Mel's voice. I love doing Mel's voice. You guys, it's sweet and country. It's a soft country thing that's happening here. And Kimmy says something that struck me. That she has been suffering in silence with his ex in order to not upset the situation. There's always been this fear that she was going to renege on their agreement for Monster to come and live with Maurice at this point in his life. And because of that, whenever Kimmy wasn't comfortable with something, whenever Kimmy didn't like something that was going on within, their co-parenting situation and how that affected her relationship with Maurice, she had to bite her tongue and not say anything because she didn't want things to implode with their relationship. So I think there's a special amount of consideration and sensitivity that Kimmy has had to this situation. And that's how I feel about it. So to have old girl have such an attitude with Kimmy, that's going to bother me. So next episode, when they sit down and she gives Kimmy that look the way she did, and I tear that ass up. But Kimmy and Mel hug, and it's cute. They having a good time, and I was glad about that because it seems as if Mel is on the outside looking in. And I also didn't like the way Tisha was trying to make Kimmy choose between the two of them. So the fact that she did not, it's even further pushing the narrative that Kimmy is an adult and is grown, and 9 times out of 10 is going to handle the situation the best way she can. It's not perfect, not messy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's messy. Okay, everybody's messy. Let's not do that. Everybody's messy. Okay, if you sit here watching a video about somebody else's personal business, your ass is messy. Like if I'm making a video about somebody, it's messy. You're making a show about it. It's all a mess. Okay, so it's not a big deal. But because there are people who feel like Kimmy has had her messy moments, and fine. But I also feel like a lot of the times Kimmy is being brought into said mess. Maurice tells the guys what he did, and the guys say that it will be a shit show. So Derek says that he needs to get a place in Michigan. That's where they at, in Michigan. You need to get a place in Michigan, and you need to travel up there as much as you can to be near your son. But I would not disrupt my household by bringing her down here. He says I will go broke trying to get custody of my son before I move my ex-wife to where my new wife is and disrupt the happy home I've created for myself. At first I didn't understand where Dark was coming from, because he kind of seems like funds and noons, the type of dude that farts in the tub to make bubbles and doesn't use wet wipes, okay? But expects his wife to clean those drawers and make sure there are no shit stains in them after the fact. He kind of gives that vibe. Either way, I totally understood what he was saying, and I was kind of on his side at the end of it. That you haven't even considered what this is going to do with your new marriage, your relationship. It's not about your son as much as it is about what is your ex-wife going to do to your marriage? It's not about your son coming here. Everybody wants the son to come. I don't think that's a problem. I also feel like a lot of the fear that Kimmy has about Monster moving in with them, it's not about Monster. It's about his mom and his pa. That's what it's about. So people who try to make it seem like she don't really want the boy there, I don't think that's true. I just think that it is a very difficult situation and that will only complicate it. But I want the little boy to come and live with them. And I want the mama to let it happen. He will come and visit you just the way he had to go and visit his dad in the past. I understand that it's hard. And I understand that I'm not a mom yet. But I feel like when you had an agreement and y'all are co-parenting, this man wants to be in his son's life. Suck it up. Suck it up. Tisha talks to the ladies about Mel and how she knows things too about Mel's relationship, since Mel want to throw what she know about her man in her face. They was all in the jacuzzi talking and Mel was the only one that wasn't out there. And then Tisha gets emotional about how she and Mel was so close and she don't understand how they got here. And Kimmy said sometimes you have to love people the way they want to be loved instead of loving them the way you want to. And I feel like that was Kimmy's very, very nice, sweet way of saying that you may have come at Mel when you were thinking you were being supportive in a way that made her feel uncomfortable, in a way that made her feel like you were coming for her neck. Now, Kimmy didn't directly say that, but that's how I'm translating it, because I think that Kimmy is very smart about the way she says things, especially because Tisha is a little sensitive. And Tisha says that she's learning that with Mel, that she needs to handle her the way she wants to be handled instead of, loving her the way she wants to. And I'm just like, child, look at it the way you want to. Bottom line, don't do to somebody what you don't want done to you. So everybody's making dinner and there's some flirtation, like I told y'all, between Mel and Martell. And she says, that's fine, Martell, ho, enjoy the moment because it's just a moment. Okay, you ain't getting me. Then Tisha asks Mel to talk. So they go outside and sit on the porch so they can talk. And Mel says, oh, Lord, really? I can't just eat my food? So they talk. And Tisha says that she doesn't want to fight, but she doesn't want this nice, nasty thing. She doesn't want all these little slick comments. And Mel says, sometimes, Tisha, it's not just everybody else. Sometimes, Tisha, you are the one with the negativity. And Tisha says, well, see, you have to say that because I didn't know that. And I'm like, that's a part of the problem, Tisha. You don't have any self-awareness. You really don't. I feel like at this point, Mel is reveling in your bullshit the way you were reveling in hers. And two wrongs don't make it right. Okay, 5 heartbeats. 2 wrongs don't make it right. I think that Mel went overboard at this point. And I always feel like it's nice to be the bigger person because then you don't end up looking like an asshole. And that's kind of how she looked. She apologized for how this came off on Twitter. And I was like, well, I'm glad you said something because I like you, but this was wrong. Okay? This was wrong. Yes, Tisha came for Mel's neck first. But I don't think that coming to the table without evidence was the right way to go. Meaning, either we gonna slam what it is on the table like Amina did Tara, marriage license, ow, okay? Unless we gonna do that, just let it go. Just let it go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've already said what you had to say. There was a way to have that conversation without, I feel like, eventually laughing at Tisha. And that's what she did. And that's when I thought it got mean. Because the conversation outside wasn't that bad. I was all on Mel's side. Tisha wants Martell to apologize about the 20 girlfriends comment. Mel says that Martell won't apologize and their husbands know a lot about one another. And Tisha says that her husband has never cheated. Let's be clear. My husband has never cheated on me. And this is when Mel says that you know of. Okay? And I said, let's be very clear. I don't think Tisha can say this with the same confidence that, some other people can. But I'm going to say personally, me. You know what I'm saying? They posted this on one of the sites, one of the Instagram pages. And I was just like, I rock with Mel. But at the end of the day, when I say I know my man ain't cheating, I know he not. And it's not because it can't happen. It's not that, in the future it won't happen. I've always said this is not perfect. I don't know where we're going to be in 5 years. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how we might grow apart or what might happen. But it's very reasonable to assume I could get cheated on or he can get cheated on. It's very reasonable to assume that, okay? But when two people who are in a relationship and have been in a relationship for a decade without any types of infidelity problems, and I say that I can say that, I mean I can say that. And I don't need anybody coming to me telling me that, oh, would you know. You know what I'm saying? So if it were me, I would have a problem with that. But I also would be right. I'm sorry. I would be right. I don't have Tisha's problems. My husband don't want me to work out of town. My husband goes out of town to work and then can't explain why he's going out of town and what he's going to be doing. Like, Marceau gives a whole bunch of reasons as to why Tisha doesn't trust him. And it's not all about Martell and Mel. They could have said something and she could have just been like, they just hating because of their situation. But the fact that her husband has never said in front of everybody, I have never cheated on my wife, because he has never validated that, and he only incites more fear in her, it seems as if it's more of a possibility than Tisha is letting on. And what Mel is saying is Tisha knows that she's being cheated on, but she wants to sit up here and grandstand and act like she's better than everybody now that her mess has been pushed in her face, okay? So that's how I see it. That's how I see it. But Mel tells Tisha the day at the coffee shop when they talked, Tisha was the one that brought up her husband's cheatation first, about his girlfriend and a BMW that he bought her. They agreed to not come for each other. But then Tisha says that she's good with them not being cool. It's just like an old boyfriend. You care, but you don't really care. Like, it was something along the lines of that. They chopped up that scene so much that I wasn't very clear on how we had went from, oh, it's about to be okay, to, well, I guess it's not okay then. At this point, Mel doesn't want to continue talking, so she gets up to go inside. And they act like everything is fine, but Tisha and Marceau go outside to talk. And Tisha is ready to go. And she wants Marceau to say that this didn't happen. And Marceau is just like, you're not about to run. You're not about to let them run you out of here. You're not about to run from your problems. What other kind of apology do you need? He's already apologized. Why do you keep drilling this? Like, he then turns to her and tells her that she's doing too much by wanting more of an apology. So I just kind of feel like Marceau is giving you all the evidence you need to know that there is something amiss. Something amiss. Over dinner, they discuss Tisha and Marceau coming up on an anniversary. And Marceau says that they are just now in a better place in their 13, 14, year marriage or whatever it is. And Tisha's like, I just really love him so much. And, we can really feel the love and all of that. And look, boo, if that's what you feel, great. And Mel wants to know, do you guys think that men can be faithful to one woman? I mean, just do you believe that? And everybody is just kind of sitting around like not really knowing whether we about to engage in this conversation. But this is obviously a dig at Tisha. And I just kind of felt like, come on, Mel. If she wants to grandstand, let her have this moment. You already didn't put her on blast for bullshit. Let her have this. Because you cracked her face. And when Tisha says that was towards me, no, I have never experienced that. My man has never cheated on me. Everybody at the table was quiet, and then Mel turns her head and giggles. And that is when it went wrong. I said, that right there was not cool. Because it's not funny. I don't think it's funny. I don't like Tisha. I think that Tisha rejoiced in what happened in Mel and Martell's marriage. And I think that is why Mel feels the need to do the same thing to her now, but it just still don't seem like the right way to handle it to me. And she agreed that now that she's watched it and seen it, she feel like that wasn't the right thing to do. I'm glad, because it wasn't. It wasn't the right way to handle it. You don't have to laugh. You don't have to say nothing. All you got to do is sit there and eat your food and wait for it to play out, because it will play out. But y'all, the way everybody around that table got quiet, shh. Like, nobody wanted to, co-sign that. Nobody said anything, which made me feel like everybody at that table, including Kimmy, knows something about Marceau. Now, my girl Crystal, we was on Twitter, we was talking about it, and she feels like maybe Marcel hasn't actually stepped out on Tisha, but he likes to keep Tisha insecure. If he can keep her insecure, he can keep control of the relationship. So he doesn't ever have to really say, I never cheated on you. He just has to keep kind of holding it over her head and making her think she's being ridiculous, and she's going to get more and more insecure, and it'll, I guess make her feel codependent on him. But I don't like that. I don't like that pushing, that pull. I don't like somebody not saying matter-of-factly, no, I've never done that. That's never happened. Don't listen to this nigga. Like, saying it in front of everybody. Like, he's never said that he hasn't cheated, which makes me feel like he's probably cheated. I don't know, y'all. I don't know these people relationship. I don't know. But I feel like if you got to ask that question like that, I missed. But yeah, y'all, that's it. That's all I got to say. I hope y'all enjoyed the review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out.